Good afternoon, Year 4s. Welcome to our times tables lesson for today. So today we're going to be looking at recognizing patterns in the 2 and 4 times table. And your success criteria is to understand the meaning of doubling, to recognize patterns in the 2 and 4 times table, and to practice your fluency. And then our vocabulary we'll need for today's lesson is doubling and pattern. So let's first look at what doubling means. So think about what doubling means. Do you know what it is? So when we double a number, we are adding the same number together. So for example, if we are going to double the number 5, we add 5 plus 5, which is going to equal 10. So we can say that double 5 equals 10. Or if we're going to say double 10, we are adding 10 plus 10. So double 10 is 20. So whenever we double a number, we're just adding that same number twice. So pause the video and think about what double 2 will be. Okay, double 2 is 4. Okay, so this links us back to our learning objective, which is to recognize patterns in the 2 and 4 times table. So let's have a look at the 2 times table and the 4 times table. And I'd like you to pause the video and get a pen and paper and write down the 2 times table and their answers, and then write down the 4 times table and their answers. And then have a look and see what patterns you might see. And what pattern means is something that repeats itself. So what is repeating when you look at the 2 and the 4 times table? Okay, so pause the video and do your 2 and 4 times table. Okay, so let's go through our answers together. So 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 2 is 6, 4 times 2 is 8, 5 times 2 is 10, 6 times 2 is 12, 7 times 2 is 14, 8 times 2 is 16, 9 times 2 is 18, 10 times 2 is 20, 11 times 2 is 22, and 12 times 2 is 24. Okay, then we'll move to the 4 times table. So we've got 1 times 4 is 4, 2 times 4 is 8, 3 times 4 is 12, 4 times 4 is 16, 5 times 4 is 20, 6 times 4 is 24, 7 times 4 is 28, 8 times 4 is 32, 9 times 4 is 36, 10 times 4 is 40, 11 times 4 is 44, and 12 times 4 is 48. Okay, so what patterns did you notice? So there are quite a few patterns in these 2 times tables. So I'll just go through them with you and see if you got those. Okay, so we're just going to get the highlighter. Okay, so the first pattern you might have noticed is that the answers for your 2 times table are jumping up in 2s. So 2, 4, 6. So that's a pattern that's repeating. It's getting bigger by 2 each time. And then you might have noticed the same with the 4 times table, is that your answers are getting bigger by 4 each time because we're multiplying by 4. So that's one pattern you might have noticed. The second pattern, which is really important, is if you look at the answer to 1 times 2, answer is 2. What is the answer to 1 times 4? It is 4. And if we look back at our previous slide, where we said, what is double 2? Double 2 is 4. So double 2 is 4. So there's a link. Then if we look at this one, 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 4 is 8. And double 4 is 8. So if we look at the next one, 3 times 2 is 6, and 3 times 4 is 12. And 6 doubled, so 6 plus 6 equals 12. So you'll notice as you go through all the answers, the answers to the 4 times table is double the answer to the 2 times table. And the reason that's happening is because we are times in by 2, so we're timesing each number by 2, and then we're timesing each number by 4. And 2 doubled is 4. So because we're timesing by double 2, which is 4, the answers are also going to be doubled. So how can this help us? If you get a question that might be 9 times 4, sometimes we don't always know what 9 times 4 is mentally. We might know it if we write it down on a piece of paper. But what you can do is you can use your 2 times table knowledge to help you. So if you say in your head, 9 times 2 equals 18, okay, and I know that double 18 is 36. Therefore, 9 times 4 is going to equal 36. And the same with, say we had 6 times 4. That can be quite tricky to learn your 6 and 4 times table. But if we say to ourselves, okay, I know my 2 times table really well. So 6 times 2 is 12. So I know by looking at the patterns that the answer to 6 times 4 is going to be double 12. So double 12 is 24. So this is just a strategy that you can use when you are working out your 2 or your 4 times table. Okay, so what you're going to do now is you're going to go onto Teams and you're going to complete the quiz, which will be a whole lot of 2 and 4 times table questions. And when you are doing them, try and see if you can use the doubling method to help you. And even if you know the answer already, just try and spot the pattern anyway, because it might help in future questions as well. So have fun and enjoy the lesson, and I look forward to seeing how much you get right.